And we're back. You're listening to KTXT's one and only Formula One radio show, The Pit Lane. I am your host, Austin.
Co-host with Hunter.
And we are back. We actually have a Grand Prix this weekend, unlike last weekend. But before we can hop into today's episode, just a reminder, you can find us online at our Instagram at The Pit Lane Radio Show, or on Twitter or X, if that you're so inclined to call it that. Please don't. At The Pit Lane RS. Those are the best places to find us. We're going to be way more active going into the rest of this Formula One season on those platforms. So don't be shy. Drop us a follow. Stay active. I will not ask you to do what the YouTubers do, which is ring that bell, turn notifications on. We're not going to do that.
Is ours active?
Our YouTube? It is, technically.
Okay.
Nothing has been posted, but keep an eye on that space. This weekend should be the start of one of the first online-only episodes. We'll give more information later in the episode, but
check the socials.
It's going to be very exciting. Big moves coming for the program. It's huge for the program.
It's going to be sweet.
But so we've done predictions before the season even started, before we had testing, before everything, about who we think would win each category. So like, who's the constructors champion, who's the drivers champion, who is going to be rookie of the year. And then in every single team, all 10 teams, which drivers are going to compete better than their teammates. Some things have been screwed around due to some driver moves. Already 2 races in the season. We'll talk about that in the latter half of the episode. But we're going to run through all of those because so far, some things we are not very confident.
And a lot of things we were just plain wrong.
Plain wrong. And then you actually, the fans... we keep talking about this. That one fan that voted for Lance Stroll to lead in the hot Aston Martin over Alonso, we called you stupid. We did. We called you stupid live on air. You were not.
Might be the smartest person on earth.
Yeah, we were the stupid ones, and we apologize first and foremost if you're listening to this. But we're going to go through these lists. So, do you want to read, or should I read our picks? You got our picks?
Yeah,
all right.
All right, so we're going to start off with the Constructors' Championship. Austin, I kind of want you to explain to me this one. What made you choose Ferrari before the season had started?
So, before the season started, a huge talk. Probably the biggest news in Formula One ever was Lewis Hamilton's move from Mercedes to Ferrari. It's the greatest driver ever with the greatest team ever in the sport.
Naturally.
I thought, last year, they weren't half bad. They were both pretty good. Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc were top. I think they were both top 5, at least top 7 in the Drivers' Championship.
Well, I think they got second in Constructors.
So yeah, and they got second in Constructors. And I'm like, okay, you have an upgrade on the car. In terms of technicality, performance will be a little better, surely. You have an upgrade in driver. There's no way that you don't look at Lewis Hamilton replacing Carlos Sainz and go, this is an upgrade in driver situation. It is. So I went into the season, I was like, you know what? I'm very confident that McLaren, they're going to be good. It's going to be a fight, but Ferrari will just have too good of a drivers. There's no way Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton don't win a boatload of races or podiums this year.
Right.
So that's why I chose Ferrari.
All right. Well, I ended up choosing McLaren.
Yep.
For pretty obvious reasons. They won last year's championship. They kind of just really, it wasn't really even an evolution of this car. They kind of just continued the upgrade path of what they thought was going to work with the flexible wings and etc.
Yeah.
But why don't you go ahead and tell us where Ferrari's sitting?
So my prediction is going to go down in history if it stays the same as one of the worst predictions of all time. Ferrari is barely in 5th place in the constructors. They're barely beating out Haas. They're 2 or 3 points ahead of Haas.
Dude.
McLaren's sitting pretty with already a decent lead in constructors. They're sitting at 78 points in 1st place. The closest person is 57, and that's Mercedes. So right now, as of 2 races into the season, I'm wrong. Very wrong.
And now, granted, the disqualifications had a lot to do with where they're sitting right now.
Yes.
And it's only 2 races.
It is only 2 races. Really only 1 race. This is 1 race in a sprint race worth of points for Ferrari.
Yeah.
If those DQs didn't happen, they'd be 4th maybe third, depending on some other little things played out. Still horrible. They should, both cars should never be disqualified with a team as historic as Ferrari. It should not happen. You have enough racing experience with these new regulations.
And money.
And money.
Goodness. Right. Our drivers' championship prediction, we were both on the same wavelength there.
Mm-hmm.
And we both decided to go with Oscar Piastri, which I think is a solid choice.
I still think it's a solid choice.
I think it is the choice.
I do think it's the choice. I think... So, right now, Lando Norris is leading the championship. He won the first race in Australia. He podiumed second in China. Did not podium in the sprint race, so that was a little bit of a hindrance on him. But sprint races aren't great point scores. So he's sitting pretty with 44. Max Verstappen's in second with 36. And then Russell in third with 35. And then Oscar Piastri with 34. So very close race for second.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oscar almost DQing in Australia, dragging himself back into the points in his home race, getting on pole for China, just stomping everybody. By far the best driver in the last two races. I'm feeling very confident about our picks.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I'm very happy to see how Oscar's doing this year, minus his little slip up in Australia. But I mean, like you said, he pulled himself back into the points after, I think he was was he 14?
Yeah, but the graphics, like everybody, including the FIA, thought he was out of the race.
Yes.
They flashed a did not finish graphic on, and then he clawed his way back to pass Lewis Hamilton on the last lap and earned 9th place, I think.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right.
Only the best drivers do that. Most drivers will just go, well, this sucks, give up.
And get out of the car.
Yeah. I feel very confident that we will see a title race between Oscar Piastri and whoever can succeed. He's got, like we've been saying for a long time, like everyone's saying, he's got that Kimi Räikkönen just dog mentality. Is it Räikkönen?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kimi. You got that Kimi mentality, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't really care.
It's Iceman, man.
Dude, I'm excited to see what he can do the rest of the season. So, Rookie of the Year is going to be a very big thing this year with having quote unquote, 6 rookies.
Yeah.
They added that little graphic during the races, like where all the rookies are positioned at.
Yeah.
And oh goodness. All right. So, Austin, you put Ollie Behrman.
I did.
I think after seeing these last 2 races, that's a pretty solid choice.
Thank you.
And I happen to stick with Bortoleto on this one.
Yeah. It could come to fruition.
Yeah, but after seeing that steak, man.
The steak's not good. Steak's not great.
It's terrible.
So Behrman is not the leading rookie. I should have gone with my gut and said Antonelli. I really thought the shoes Antonelli was stepping in at Mercedes, being a front-running team. Lewis Hamilton just left. I mean, you have Total Wolf in your ear, and Bono. I was like, man, this is going to stress him out. And he's not even phased. He's
got it.
He's in front of Lewis Hamilton in the Driver Championship.
Goodness.
So Behrman is sitting at 12th place. He did not score points in his first race. He crashed out, or whatever he did. I forgot already. But he did score 4 points in China. So he is not necessarily the leading rookie, but he's the second best rookie. Bortoleto has not existed.
We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. We'll just gloss over it.
Yeah,
we'll come back to it.
It was a little bit of a stretch.
Okay. I really have no faith in this steak. I will be for real with you right now.
I saw the livery and I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
And then the livery in person is just like a PNG file. It does not look good.
Nope. I got so hyped about it, and then, oh well.
Yeah. But truthfully, who knows?
Yeah.
Really, nobody actually knows what the season will be like. Objectively hilarious. We both thought Antonelli would not be as good as everyone says he is. He's higher than Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc and Liam Lawson. Way better cars.
Dude. Oh, poor Liam.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I mean, what can you do at this point?
Nothing.
Yeah, literally nothing.
Absolutely nothing. But we'll jump into Liam in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite... There's a funny situation brewing over Red Bull.
Yeah. Goodness. Well, now we'll go ahead and move into, I guess, better driver.
Yeah, our teammate head-to-head predictions.
Yeah, head-to-head predictions. So, you have put Hulkenberg at cake.
Uh-huh.
I did the same thing.
I did too. I already said that. I think that's fair.
I don't really see.
Yeah, that's not changing.
Hulkenberg is just too experienced with bad cars.
He is. I mean, he dragged his Sauber almost into 2-point finishes in the first 2 races.
Yeah.
Like
Is he listed above Bortoleto right now because of that?
Well, Hulkenberg has 6 points.
Oh.
He has more points than Yuki Tsunoda and the Racing Bulls, which is a way better car than the Sauber. Both Alpines. Fernando Alonso, he has more points than Fernando. And Lynn Liam.
Fernando hasn't finished.
And Carlos Sainz, he has more points than Carlos Sainz.
Wow.
So objectively, the worst car last year and the worst team last year has more points than a Red Bull, an Aston Martin, a Williams car that looks pretty dang good, and a Racing Bull car that also looks pretty dang good. So I think we're both right on the money for that one.
Yeah, I think that was a solid choice. We'll go ahead and move into Williams. We
split on this.
Yeah, we were undecided. You put Albon not confident.
Yeah.
And I put Sainz confident. And man, was I wrong.
I don't necessarily think you're wrong. The first race, unfortunate. He was one corner away from being okay and having a full race. And he just back tires spun out on him, crashed into a wall. I do think Albon, I'm a lot more confident in him.
Yeah, I know. He's been showing up this season.
Yeah. Albon is sitting pretty in 6th place with a total of 16 points. Carlos Sainz has 1, but only because Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc DQ'd in China. If they did not DQ, Alex Albon would have 100% of Williams' points.
Amazing. I mean, it was a little sad to see Albon stuck at Williams.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to get out of Williams, but Williams is on the up.
Yeah, I think at this point you stay. I think you see the commitment James Vowles has made to the team. You're already, I think they're 1 point behind their points total from last year in 2 races.
Wow.
With one car, really. They've had one car properly working. I think even though Carlos Sainz isn't performing as well as most people thought he would for being a really good driver, I think he'll pull it together right this season. I think it will be a close teammate battle, but until Carlos can get his confidence up again, I do think it's a confidence thing of being in a new team, trying to learn all this new stuff. I do think Alex Albon will finish the lead Williams, but I don't know. I think that with Williams, you can't go wrong with either driver.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He's probably just kind of getting used to the car still.
Yeah.
Which you'd think, being the best drivers in the world, you could do it.
You would
instantly.
think so, but we have been shown to be wrong many times this year.
Oh well, we'll see. That one has more to come.
It does.
Well, Haas has been a little bit of a weird situation this year as well.
Yep.
We both put Behrman again. I think that's kind of more to our mutual dislike of Ocon.
Yeah, Esteban Ocon is sitting in 7th place with 10 points, so he's tied in the drivers with Lance Stroll. I can't believe I said that. It was a bad time. You took a drink. And Behrman has 4 points. So I don't think it's the end of the world. It's obviously, like we're saying, 2 races. Anything can change in any of our predictions. I mean, next race, you could have everybody in the top 5 crash out and have a crazy podium in Japan. It could happen.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah. But I do think Behrman has just been unfortunate in his races. I think he's good. I do think Ocon's a good driver. There's a reason he's still in the sport.
Right.
I just don't like him. So I don't want to see him do well.
He's been doing fairly better.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't been really too close to his teammate this season.
No.
And he's really, really aggressive when it comes to his teammates. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait and see whenever Oliver's kind of next to him and how it all plays out.
Yeah. So then after Haas, we have RB. I think we split on this one again. I went for Yuki but I wasn't super confident in that. You went with Isaac Hadjar, and we're also not very confident. How are we feeling after?
Well, after seeing Yuki in the first 2 races, my whole thought process was debunked. And
You thought the pressure of a good teammate.
I really thought that he was going to be very discouraged
Yeah.
by not getting that Red Bull seat.
Mm.
And look where we are
Lo
now.
and behold, very wrong. I mean, we're going to have to move our predictions around. I do still think our Red Bull prediction is correct.
Yeah.
But, Yuki Tsunoda is really, he's no longer a Racing Bulls driver. He has moved to the full-time Red Bull seat. We'll see how long that lasts, if any at all, beyond this race.
Who knows?
Even then, I do think Yuki is the better RB driver. I don't think there's much to talk about there. He's been one of the best midfield drivers we've had this year.
Oh, yeah.
It's just been team strategy that has not made him get the points he deserves.
Yeah, team strategy. Didn't they follow Ferrari's idea?
They tried, and it didn't work for Ferrari, so
No.
I don't know why they,
It was raining.
Yeah, so Yuki is sitting with 3 points. He's 13th in the championship. I do think he will turn it on like he always does later in the year and bag some crazy points and stuff. But, yeah, I think we're both... I'm sitting pretty with my prediction with Yuki.
I think Yuki's the right move for that one. Especially with... Hadjar did crash out on the formation lap, but...
He did do that. First ever Formula One race.
Yep.
New track. Wet.
It's got to be embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Can't give him too much grievance, I think. People were very quick in going, he wasn't ready, blah, blah, blah. He's a rookie. He's a kid, essentially. Some grace. I understand he's making millions. Cool. You can have some disconnects from the sport in that sense. But as a human being, it'd be like me trying to... I don't even have a good analogy. It's just hard.
Just give him a minute.
Let him figure it out. He'll figure it out. But we move on to Alpine. We both picked Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, I don't see any other way that's going to happen. Especially with Duhan.
Yep.
We'll see what comes on later in the season with that.
Yeah.
But I don't think Duhan is going to have any shot.
No. Yeah, I mean, they both have equal on points. They're both with 0, so who knows?
Oh, man.
But, yeah, Pierre Gasly has been the better Alpine driver. He's just had better racecraft. Duhan, again, is a rookie. Most of these tracks are pretty new to him. I also don't think he's the best. I think with Colapinto in the wings, maybe the pressure's got to him, but maybe it'll spur him on. Kind of like Yuki did, where he didn't get the Red Bull seat. There's potential for him to lose his seat again. All right, well, screw it. I have nothing to live for in a sense anyways. I'm going to go out with a bang, race like I'm undead. Yuki worked. He has a Red Bull seat. Maybe Jack Duhan, after this little break, will be like, I'm recentered. I got it. Colapinto again got nothing, bro. And we'll race lights out.
Be sweet to see.
It'd be awesome. I think having, selfishly, another Aussie that'd do really good would be sweet. But I don't think it'll happen. But who knows?
Well, it's not like we're going to have a good American anytime soon.
No, not until Colin Herta finally gets the call up into Cadillac.
Dude, please.
Please. We're begging at this point, man. Give me an American driver. A real American driver. Logan Sargent, I love you. Thank you for repping the red, white, and blue, even though you were so bad last year and the year before. Give me a real American driver with that. It's like just his helmet design is nothing but an American flag.
Like
no sponsors.
Obnoxious,
American. Like bald eagle on the back, holographic. Yes. Please.
That's what we need.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Here comes our worst prediction yet.
I don't even want to get into it.
We've got Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
We were very confident.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that says very confident.
I was so confident that Alonso would continue to being Alonso, which is, hi, I'm Alonso. I'm a 2-time F1 champion. I'm 45, and I'm still racing like I'm 16. He has not done that.
Beast.
He's DNF'd both races.
Dude, he's literally on the website. It says no contest for him.
There is 19 drivers in the standings. He is not on the standings, like you're saying. The one fan that voted for Lance, if at the end of the season this is still true, which is Lance is the lead Aston Martin, I will buy you an Aston Martin hat.
And we got to get you on the show.
And we'll get you on the show to talk about why. If it stays the same.
So we gotta figure out what,
because that is the boldest prediction in, at least that I've seen in Formula One, like teammate predictions ever. Easily. No one I was talking to expected Lance Stroll to amount to anything this season. Like we've been saying, he'll have 2 to 3 races where he'll do really good and almost podium, and you go, okay, maybe it's not just daddy's money that's keeping him here. And maybe he's had those 2 races. Maybe he's just really the beginning of the season and Fernando's just gotten lucky, but he'll lock in. I will cry at the end of the season if he's the lead Aston Martin.
I will be incredibly surprised.
Because right now, as it is, Lance Stroll is higher than Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc in the standings. I mean, only by 2 points, but he's an Lance Stroll over Lewis Hamilton.
I like how you almost went to say an Aston Martin, then you just go Lance.
And not even Aston Martin. Aston Martin's a decent team. Lance Stroll is over Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. Unfathomable.
Crazy prediction. Well, Mercedes, we were split.
Yeah.
Unlike, I really can't believe Aston Martin, but we split, and you decided that Russell is going to outperform Kimi, and I decided that Kimi was going to outperform Russell.
Yeah. I think no matter which way, if you're a Mercedes fan, you're loving the season already. George Russell, 3rd place in everything that he can get this year. Like, he's just done incredible.
Very consistent.
By far the hottest start he's had to his Formula One career. He's sitting in 3rd place in the championship with 36 points. He's only 2 points behind. Well, he's 1 point behind Max Verstappen, 1 point ahead of Oscar. He'll get feisty. I mean, Kimi Antonelli, he's 5th place. He's a little bit of ways back. He's almost 10 points back behind, but
he's a very fresh rookie.
He's fresh. He just got a driver's license before the season started. Like his full driver's license, yeah.
Oh yeah, because you have to get it at 18 in Europe.
Like he's new technically to driving, I guess. He's not, but
yeah.
I am not confident. That's why I think I'd put not confident. I don't know at all.
I mean, if he gets very comfortable with that car, I mean, he's already done very well. But if he gets really comfortable,
he'll be scary, man.
Probably, he could probably be a future world champion.
Yeah. Now, Ferrari, we did also split with this one. I went with Charles Leclerc, but I wasn't confident, and you went with Lewis Hamilton. You were also not confident. I don't know.
I mean, they have been very close this entire time so
far. Lewis Hamilton technically has more points than Charles Leclerc by a total of 1 point. Because he just won the sprint race, that's it. So, I don't know.
I think we're going to have to wait and see Ferrari. I mean, that's really... It was really unfortunate they both DNF'd, but...
Yeah.
I mean, that's on the team. That's really not on them.
Yeah, they can't control that. But it'll be, like you're saying, we'll have to wait and see. Now, Red Bull, we both super confident, probably the most confident in the entire list. Verstappen.
There's not much to say about Verstappen.
No.
He's just insane.
He's Max. Max is Max. Max will drag anything to wins and podiums. That second Red Bull seat's cursed. It has to be. There's no way that you've had 4 people since Daniel Ricciardo, and none of them can do anything close to Max. It's just a confidence killer. It's a career ender, almost.
Oh, yeah.
It almost ended Pierre Gasly's career. It almost ended Alex Albon's career. It did for a little bit until he came back to Formula One with Williams. It ended Sergio Perez's career after one of the most successful seasons in a midfield car, 2 Red Bull, championship contender for 3 races. Oh, nothing.
Goodbye.
It might end Liam Lawson's career.
Yeah.
It could end Yuki Tsunoda's career. It depends on how bad the car is, truthfully.
Well, I mean, if Yuki is not good in this car, that means that it's a car issue.
It has, yeah.
Because he was outperforming Lawson
Yeah.
and the lower team.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I do think Verstappen will stay the lead Red Bull, but we will have to see with that second Red Bull seat if anybody at all can do anything comparison to Max. But we both, just like Red Bull, went, okay, McLaren, Piastri. I mean, we chose him to win the championship. Why would he not be the lead McLaren?
That literally just, it can't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense logically. I think we're both correct still. I know technically on the standings he is not in first place. Just wait.
I'm still confident.
I'm very confident. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's going to be a really good season.
This season has already started off with 2 bangers. You had one of the best opening races ever in Formula One with Australia.
Absolutely fantastic.
Just chaos. And then you go to China, which is kind of a new addition to the track count. I know it's been around for a while, but it's back again for the first time. It's a fun track. I didn't watch the race because it was 4 a.m. I'm not waking up 4 a.m. to watch that race. I'm sorry. But 2 great races. Great pole for Oscar. Win from pole. His first pole to win, and also first pole in general. I think it will turn out to be, if not better than last year's season. Hopefully.
The cars are just so close.
Yeah, the top 3 cars are astronomically. Actually, top 4 drivers are astronomically close. Kimi Antonelli is good. I truthfully do not think he's as good as Oscar, George, or Max or Lando. He just got unlucky with DQs.
Wait, what?
In China, he was behind Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc.
Yeah.
And then got boosted up into whatever place he ended up in. So we'll see. But it should be very close. But we're going to jump into a quick break. Get up, stretch your legs, drink some water, eat some food, go to the toilet, do whatever you need to do. But do not go anywhere. The pit lane will be right back after a few songs. So don't turn that dial. We'll be right back. All right, hi, I'm your host, Austin Layden. Well, one of your hosts. I just want to hop in here. We've gone on a unique break. This spot would usually be where we would play some songs on the radio show, but obviously this is not a radio show. This is a online podcast style show. So I thought I would jump in here and just talk to you guys for a minute. Just want to say, firstly and foremost, thank you for listening to this. This is a huge endeavor for us at the Pit Lane, and me personally. It's been a dream of mine for a long time to upload stuff that I love online, whether that be Spotify, YouTube, or any of our other social medias. So this is already a dream come true. And to get to do it with a really good friend and talk about the sport I love the most, Formula One, means a lot. It means a lot that you care enough to listen and that you've gotten this far into the episode. And if so, what do you think? You can reach us I think I've enabled comments on the Spotify, but you can reach us on the comments on Spotify and YouTube, find us on Instagram or Twitter, message us, comment underneath our stuff, just let us know how we're doing. We're going to work on some kinks. There's some things I want to work on, but as a first go around, I'm really proud of what me and my co-host Hunter have done. So hope you guys are enjoying the episode, but I won't keep you guys for too long. So enjoy the rest of the episode. Thank you guys again. And we are back. The pit lane has returned. Hope you enjoyed that stretch, getting some water, eating some food, whatever you have done. Now it is time to lock in. Japanese Grand Prix weekend is upcoming. It is really starting on Thursday at 9:30 p.m. For practice session 1, which will last until 10:30 on April 3rd. Practice session 2 will take place on Friday, bright and early Friday morning at 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. on April 4th, and the third practice session will wrap up Friday afternoon from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. Qualifying will be on Saturday, April 5th, 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. Bright and early. I should watch that. I should be awake. We'll see if I can keep my eyes awake closer to 2 a.m. But the race is, honestly, for it being in Japan and us being in the middle of America, pretty good timing. It is set to take place 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Sunday, April 6th, which is Hunter's birthday.
Yeah.
So
cars are going to start right when I turn 21.
Yeah. So, exciting. Hopefully the person you predict to win it will actually win. It'll be a great birthday present for you.
Awesome. I remember last year at this race, it lasted from midnight till 4 a.m. due to rain.
Yes. which is why they have moved the calendar around. So one of the reasons why we have Japan so dang early in the season is so they can stop being rained out and have red flag weather delays. We'll see if that continues this year. Hopefully it does, because that wouldn't make any sense for there to be that much rain in Japan at this point of the season. But
I mean, we'll see. I mean,
yeah,
a bunch of famous races at Japan have been rainy.
yeah, it'll definitely still be rainy. Japan is just, I think, a rainy place in general most of the time. But it should be a very entertaining race. But obviously, with it being in Japan, we have teased for a bit. Yuki Tsunoda is officially official to take over for that second Red Bull seat. We talked about it a little bit last week, how most people were already reporting on it, but nothing was confirmed yet. Neither F1, the FIA, Red Bull, or Red Bull Racing, RBR, whatever, second sister seat, no one talked about it until like the end of the week. So it is official. Yuki Tsunoda has finally gotten the call up after 4 seasons in Formula One to take the fight to Max Verstappen, really see where his experience level is at and his driving pace. Liam Lawson has been demoted back down into Visa Cash App Red Bull Racing.
That's the right name.
Yeah, the full legal name is, if it's in trouble, we'll say the full legal name.
Right.
But Liam Lawson is in trouble. He has been replaced with the driver that everyone thought should deserve the seat before the season started. Apparently does deserve the seat. This really does follow. Lawson has had really poor qualifying form. He's P20 in every single qualifying session. He obviously would qualify like P18, P17, but the team would be like, hey, we need a new gearbox. And he'd get a new gearbox and he'd start from the pit lane. Yuki Tsunoda, on the other hand, has been very impressive. His qualifying form has been crazy. He's qualified top 10 in every qualifying session. And like we were saying before the break, if it weren't for idiotic strategy, he would have been one of the top midfield drivers in standings.
I mean, you could almost say, I mean, they do have a little bit of say on what happens in the strategy.
Yeah.
So that could have been just a wrong move on the team. It could have been a wrong move on, like, hey, if this happens at a race, we're going to do this. We're going to follow whoever does this.
Yeah. Yeah, the blame's not entirely off Yuki. The drivers are the ones in the seat. They're seeing the weather conditions. Yuki and the team decided to do the strategy. I do think, kind of like Ferrari, Charles Leclerc can be like, hey, I'm pitting next lap to do this. Give me these tires. And Ferrari goes, okay. And then forgets that he's pitting and then is late and botches the strategy.
Genius.
Ferrari, genius. No one will see it coming. Everyone sees it coming. But RB did the same thing. So we'll see if that is uniquely a Yuki Tsunoda thing. But do we think, or the big question everyone has been asking, will Yuki perform in the Red Bull? It is home Grand Prix.
All of the things that I've been seeing on social media, they're probably PR responses from like, oh yeah, I'm going to do great, guys.
Obviously.
And he did get to drive a few different Red Bulls throughout the years, and he's like, oh, it wasn't very tricky.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that just a PR response? Is he being genuine?
Yeah. Because he's wanting every like PR thing he's done in the Red Bull seat has always been like, yeah, like you're saying, he's always been like, it was pretty easy. I can do that. But obviously you don't want to be like, actually the car is really hard to drive. Like, I really struggled in that car. You're not going to say that because you want to get to the car. You want the higher salary. You want the more responsibility. You want the better car, better team, better whatever. Obviously Yuki's not going to be like, I'm quite nervous, actually.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
No. The bigger question, I guess, over that is, so what happens if Liam outperforms Yuki in the Racing Bull seat?
I think that means the car's bad.
Yeah.
I think that, like, clear as day, the car is not good.
No. I think if Liam outperforms Yuki in the Racing Bull, Yuki's in the Red Bull, demote Max to the Racing Bull and really see what that car can do.
Is it worth doing that, though?
I think it'd be hilarious. Put Isaac Hadjar back in the Red Bull, see what Rookie can do in that. Drop Max to the Racing Bull just to see what happens.
I mean, why not? Most people, whenever they're talking about the Red Bull, say how thin of a line that the limit is on that car.
Yep.
So
It is perfectly suited to Max Verstappen.
yes.
I kind of talked about it before, how there's been 4 drivers before this in that second Red Bull seat that's quite not figured it out. They've gone on to win a few times and podium in the Red Bull, but they've never been like on it like Max has. I do think, and I think most people will agree with me, Red Bull, since Daniel Ricciardo, or at least since Max Verstappen came to sport as a rookie, they've geared this car to Max. 100%. It's just Max's car.
Yeah, as soon as he showed that he can win, and I mean, he
Yeah.
moved up from like F3, I think it was, or did he? No,
I don't think he did F2,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong on Max lore. I don't know Max lore too well.
I can't remember exactly, but he skipped for sure
Yeah.
Formula 2.
Yeah. But I really, the really big question is what happens. I just think if something happens, you, for the sake of the drivers and the team and everybody involved in Formula One, don't just swap them back again. Let them stay. Let them really figure it out. Just let the 2 people stay in their seats. If they're doing horrible, sure, I guess, do what Red Bull does best, which is drop drivers before they can even have a chance to prove themselves.
Right.
Cool. Let them race. Let them figure out what happens.
The only stipulation I see to that is if Liam outperforms Yuki in that car.
Yeah. And if he does, like, by a large margin, sure, swap him back, but just end it at this point. It's just tough.
Or bring swap Hadjar and Verstappen. Like
And then
you
we'll
said.
really see what happens. But Christian Horner went on record. Unfortunately, we don't have an audio clip. Otherwise, you would not be listening to us to talk about it. But you'd be listening to Christian say it. But he did not. So, after the announcement of Yuki going over to Liam, Christian went on record and said, "We came into the season with 2 ambitions, to retain the Drivers' Championship and to reclaim the Constructors' title. And this is a purely sporting decision. We acknowledge that there is lots of work to be done with the RB21, i.e., this car's crap. And we know it. And Yuki's experience will prove highly beneficial in helping to develop the current car. We have a duty of care to protect and develop Liam, and together we see that it makes sense to act quickly so Liam can gain experience as he continues his F1 career." Gut reactions.
I don't trust anything that Horner says.
Agreed. That man is a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time they've kicked the driver out, it's always been, it's a sworn decision. We just care for them too much. We don't want to see him crash and burn or whatever, blah, 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 blah. No, this is not a sporting decision. This is you being scared that you can't win. And everyone knows you can't win. Toto Wolff called you out on this car last year. Everyone thought Toto was crazy when he said, it's not the driver, it's the car. Look at the car. And yeah, what a little bull in a sense, man.
I feel like Red Bull thinks they're too good to be bad.
Yeah.
So
He'll never admit it.
yeah, they're just like, nah, it's the drivers.
No, definitely
It'll
drivers.
never be the car.
No. But yeah, those are the big news. Japanese Grand Prix should be if not anything, entertaining in the media circus. I'm very excited for Yuki. I think having his first time in the Red Bull, with it being a special livery, it's all white, Honda themed, his home Grand Prix, it should be very special for him. It should, regardless of what happens, it should be a weekend he'll never forget. Hopefully that means...
Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like,
Please. That could mean anything. I hope he podiums, man. That'd be so fun. His first podium being his first time in Red Bull at his home Grand Prix. Oh, that'd be awesome. That's like the dream for the weekend for me, is a Yuki podium.
Now, granted, all of this happening as long as Oscar wins.
True. Everything we've said about any prediction obviously includes Oscar Piastri winning. Obviously.
That should be a...
Yeah, everyone should understand. If we talk about any results, automatically go, yep, Oscar wins. Okay, so who's second and third?
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Who cares who's there? As long as it's not Lando, I guess, in second later in the season. But we are unfortunately drawing to an end of this episode. I say it's been a pretty good episode.
Dude, yeah, we've got some real cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
This race is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we said beginning of the episode, stay tuned to our socials. Lots of stuff is about to start happening. I have gotten lots of people talking about it to me. I'm locking in, I promise. Social stuff will be happening. So keep an eye on our Instagram, our Twitter, or not our Facebook. We don't have a Facebook. We're never making a Facebook. Our YouTube account will actually become active again. So you remember, you can find us at the Pit Lane Radio Show or the Pit Lane RS. If you just look up the Pit Lane, it'll probably pop up if you're following people related to it.
It's like a little car, little F1 car, and then
you'll see
the
it.
logo.
You'll find it.
Yeah, it's not hard to find.
And if we're really struggling, just look up KTXT. They follow us. Just figure it out. I trust in media literacy for people to figure out how to find people online. If you can stalk somebody on Instagram, you can find an Instagram account.
Dude,
I digress.
That's probably the best point made today.
But thank you all so much for listening. We will be here same time next week, hopefully with a good Japanese Grand Prix weekend and a Oscar Piastri win and a Yuki Tsunoda podium.